Dienstag ist Dilemmatag. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Tuesday is Dilemma Day, the weekly show in which we have a look at dilemma plays seen on the tournament circuit of Star Trek CCG First Edition, the only card game that rewards you for nuking endangered species of whales from orbit. Today's dilemma combo is one I've seen in a decklist by two-time world champion Michael Van Breemen last January. Since it's going to be a very evil combo, I will be spending part of today's episode talking about various general ways of getting out of tricky situations during mission attempts. We will be attempting a space mission today, so as always, if you want to play along, assemble a ship and crew, can be your best ship and crew, can be an expendable one, and if you're ready, run into the first dilemma with me. So, let's have a look at Lackey. We can see that our opponent has seeded a battle bridge door. They have also seeded a hidden agenda. It's going to be taking charge, which is not important right now. And unless it's our very first turn of the game, since if we're going first, our opponent will already have had the opportunity to put several cards into their discard pile, which is going to be important. So let's take out the bottom seed card and let's have a look. It's DNA security scan. To get past must have double engineer, double computer skill, and a varying amount of cunning, depending on how many objective cards our opponent has got in their discard pile. Now, if you were boldly going where nobody went before, then you had a chance of busting through this comma, defusing it right away. If you had the 2 engineer and 2 computer skill on your very first turn before your opponent has had a turn, then you have successfully busted through this combo with minimal losses. However, a much more realistic scenario is running into this dilemma on your own turn 3, so after your opponent has had some opportunity of discarding certain cards, and usually you can expect to run into this combo when it already requires cunning greater than 75 or more likely cunning greater than 90. Alright, so we can assume that this dilemma stops us once, and then once we have assembled the necessary skills and attributes, cunning greater 90 in this case, we'll come back and simply get rid of it. And that brings us to the next card in the stack here, and that's Explosive Decompression. It kills X personal random selection, where X is the number of opponents' universal space missions with point boxes. They haven't seeded any of those. Why would they? They don't need them for this particular combo. We only care about the last sentence here. If more than 9 personnel remaining, opponent may hit our ship with 2 damage markers from the battle bridge side deck. Now, check the number of personnel you needed to get through this wall with cunning greater than 90. I bet it's more than 9. So our ship is hit with a damage marker and with another one. Now, Explosive Decompression doesn't say anything about requirements we need to meet to go through. We will go through regardless. So that means we have to encounter the next dilemma. That's going to be Disgraceful Assault, which begins with opponent may flip, that is, they hit us with another damage marker from the battle bridge side deck. And as you can see, these 3 damage markers already add up to a combined hull damage of 105%, meaning our ship is instantly destroyed with all hands aboard. They also have other effects, killing random personnel, but they are not important. Our whole ship will be blown up. So, there was little we could do about this. It's a very evil combo. However, there are some ways to prepare for it if you smell this one coming. If you've run into it and were stopped by it, then you would have to make sure that this one, Explosive Decompression, doesn't hurt you. And the only way to do that is to run into this dilemma with a maximum of 9 personnel. But attempting with 9 personnel means you're going to have a very hard time getting through a fully boosted DNA security scan. So what cards are there to help you get through this cunning greater than 90 requirement with only 9 personnel? Of course, there are the good old pads that all the affiliations have that give you personal cunning boost of +2. They've fallen a bit out of fashion, but there are some ways to download them. There is also lower decks that gives a attribute bonus of +2. it only affects universal personnel. The big advantage is this one is a card that you can download very easily. There are also things like HQ Secure War Room, HQ War Room, that gives officer leaders and officer leadership and security personnel a cunning bonus of +2 if they are of the same affiliation. There is also Taking Charge that gives a flat +1 bonus to all your guys as long as they are at a mission that has an objective on it. And there are various other personnel and cards, for example, Christopher Pike, which gives a bonus of +1 to all OS personnel, or the Centurion, who boosts all the Romulans at this location with +1. So there are lots of ways to boost your personnel's attributes. However, some of them are very hard to plan, and it's very tricky to have them all in place at the same time. You might say you spend some time until you've set up your crew so they can get through the DNA security scan with only 9 personnel. However, considering that in modern OTF many games are over by turn 5 or 6, that means oftentimes you simply don't have enough turns to make sure that you have such a super crew assembled. So we have to find some other ways to mitigate the damage done by this devastating dilemma combo, and this is where first edition gets really dirty. So let's put those to the side and let's have a look at some other personnel that can be useful here. Let's take out Anastasia Komananov. That's a hologram version of Kira Nerys, and she has a very interesting special download here. She can download Smoke Bomb. Now, Smoke Bomb has 2 functions. We only care about the second one here. Place to stop one crew or away team where you have personnel present. So the idea is that you attempt with Anastasia Komananov in your crew, and once you hit the explosive decompression, so after you've cleared the DNA security scan and discarded it, after you hit the explosive decompression and realize that it's going to hurt your ship big time, you suspend play by downloading Smoke Bomb, playing it on your own crew, stopping them all, and because a mission attempt ends immediately as soon as there are no unstopped personnel left, then we have successfully stopped ourselves for the turn. We can run into this damaging combo with a expendable ship and crew, so a single ship, a small ship with a single person on board is enough. We fly in, we take the hit. Maybe we can also take the hit from the Disgraceful Assault as well. And then we can fly in with a big crew and clear the mission. And the same principle also applies to cards like Kess, who can download the Gift. The Gift reads, if you have Kess aboard your ship at a spaceland location, place her out of play and relocate the ship to another spaceland location in same quadrant. Ship is stopped. So you more or less have to kill Kess and stop your ship for the turn, but you've dodged the big damage effect from explosive decompression. Next turn, fly in a shuttle or something else, and then your big ship can clear the mission. And this also works for Niels Barris, who can download Incoming Message Federation. So while you're about to have your warp core blown up, you suddenly get a call from one of the many Federation admirals who says, no, you can't blow up your ship right now because you have to come back to our outpost first, and then you can go about your merry way. And we say, okay, Admiral, that's what we'll do. We'll fly home. Mission attempt ends. Same story. We fly in a ship that we don't need, take the damage markers, and then our big crew can go through unharmed. Now, all of these powerful personnel come with some strings attached. Niels Barris is relatively easy to get in play. He's a Federation personnel, so as long as he's compatible with your guys, you can use him. You only have to have an alternate universe door, but that's a very easy requirement. Kess is from the Delta Quadrant, so sometimes people go out of their way to include her, for example, by playing a temporal micro wormhole and using that to report her to the Alpha Quadrant, or finding some way of reporting her via nanoprobe resuscitation and so on. And Anastasia Komananov needs a ship with a holodeck, or if you want to use her on a planet, some way of activating her on a planet like holoprojectors. I've seen her recently used in a Dominion deck because her ability is so powerful. So there are ways to deal with such devastating dilemma combos. Of course, your opponent also knows about all these ways to nullify these combos or to get out of them. So whenever you run one of these personal with their special download, be ready to have an opponent that simply plays Quinn to nullify that interrupt. So maybe stock some of those counter interrupts yourself, or just say, I'm going to spam so many personnel that I don't care about a ship with 10 guys that is suddenly destroyed. All right, now what about traditional format? Can you also play this combo with the Cypher-only cards? No, you cannot. All the damage dilemmas in the traditional format card pool automatically stop your ship. They're all conditioned to say, unless you have so-and-so, or to get past you need this or that. So you cannot replicate this effect using traditional cards only. This is only something that you have to worry about in a complete card pool that is Decipher cards and virtual cards. Okay, that's it for today. If you like the show, please like and subscribe. And if you want to have a look at OTF deck building, join me this Thursday for an episode of Thursday Night Deck Building. And we're going to have a look at a Federation Original Series deck. And you can bet your Latinum that Niels Barris is going to show up there. All right, that's it for today. Until next time, bye-bye.